Hey everyone, welcome back to the 8th episode of the AI Automation in Service Industry series. I'm your host Stefan, and in this episode we're going to talk about AI in risk assessment and compliance for financial advisors. So if you're new to this channel, we're splitting this series up into 5 different sections for 5 different industries. We've had 3 episodes for lawyers, 3 episodes for consultants. So now we're focusing on financial advisors, starting off now with how AI can be applied in risk assessment and compliance for their internal administration and for their client projects. So why is this important? Why may it be relevant with AI using artificial intelligence for financial advisors in this setting? You know, for financial advisors, like if you're a financial advisor yourself, you may relate to managing regulatory requirements, risk exposure. This can be really complex and time intensive. So in this video, we'll see how we can kind of increase accuracy, predict risks, and streamline compliance, freeing you up generally to focus on your client more specifically. So what is the value in AI here? So we've touched a bit on the surface, but how specifically, what kind of concrete things can be done with the functionalities that are generally available with AI and automation today? So first of all, there is the chance of enhanced accuracy. You can minimize human error a lot when analyzing financial data, making more precise risk assessments. You also have the chance for more kind of real-time compliance monitoring, kind of assessing the compliance management with monitoring transactions and documentation in real time if you have the right tools for it. Also, of course, efficient data analysis. It can process so much data sets at speed, identifying patterns and anomalies that it's very easy for a human analyst to miss. And also, of course, predictive risk modeling to analyze historical data using AI to forecast potential future risks and allowing for preventative measures. So those are just touching the surface of what is possible with artificial intelligence and automation in risk assessment and compliance in the financial sectors. So we'll go over to some specific software, some specific tools for how this can be done later in this episode. Stay with me. But yeah, let's first go over to some key applications here. So for instance, AI can create personalized risk profiles, analyze factors like client investment history, market trends, allowing advisors like you to make informed recommendations tailored to each client's unique risk tolerance and financial goals. So for instance, if you have a high net worth client profile, it can show increased exposure to volatile assets, can flag this as a high-risk area, kind of making it possible for you more dynamically to suggest portfolio adjustments proactively based on their risk profile, based on what their investment strategy generally is. Also, automated compliance checks for scanning transactions documents in real time. There may always be some kind of manual checks that has to be done, but automating at least parts of it can save a lot of time and reduce the risk a lot when you have these checks in place, reducing risk of non-compliance and need for manual oversight. For instance, detecting potentially non-compliant transaction, alerting the advisors, and then checking up on this. Is this something we need to investigate further? Are we risking to go beyond, not reach any regulatory deadlines, and so on? These are all key parts in how it can help you save time and make sure that you can reach, and you and your clients can reach the deadlines that are set in the regulatory field. Also, of course, fraud detection, anomaly analysis in the financial markets. So with all the regulations that are generally in place in investing in the financial, dealing with the financial markets, then it's really important to have the right tools for noticing the irregular patterns that may produce some risk in non-compliance, risk in also losses and gains in general here, and generally being sure that you pick up when there are anomalies in these transactions, anomalies in the investing, and possibly if a potential client or potential someone the client is doing business with, etc., may be involved, or maybe some chance of being involved in some kind of fraudulent activities. So if there are unusual withdrawal patterns and so on, this can kind of alert the advisor and reduce the risk on your part there. Also, of course, documented data management. This may be one of the more clear applications, especially now that we have tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and so on. And when you also have the chance to analyze large volumes of documentation, you can more quickly process, analyze these for accurate onboarding, compliance checks, and so on. Of course, here, be sure that you're careful with which documents have sensitive information about the client, about your own internal business, about personal information. Like, don't leak out any personal information that these kind of open-ended language models have in place. So be careful about what information you give out, but also make sure that you find a good system so that you can use these tools that are available to you without actually giving out any of these like sensitive information, sensitive documents. That's where you need to be more careful, especially when you're using larger volumes of this type of data. So that's also a really important part to assess here when you're using documents and data management here with ChatGPT or other natural language processing tools. Then this is something that you need to be aware of. There's a lot of potential here, a lot of time to save, a lot of value to be created here, but this is also a key area for compliance, that you don't leak any information or don't give out any personal data or proprietary data as well, because GDPR and similar regulations are really strict about that type of things. So now we're going over to some specific tools, some specific, or this is more kind of suggestions of something to check out based on your situation here. So may be relevant for you to check out. It may not be, but at least can be worth checking out, seeing these tools have some kind of AI integrated into it. So it can possibly be helpful to assess for financial compliance and risk management. So first of all, we have IBM Watson. This can be used for a lot of different industries. We've mentioned it previously as well. But here we consider this to be useful in machine learning, natural language processing for compliance and risk management, including, for instance, risk insights, like analyzing market behavioral data, assessing the risk exposure, and doing some monitoring for the regulatory compliance as well. So this is something that it has the chance to do. So this can be done, for instance, financial advisor firm manage compliance across jurisdictions with some automated monitoring. Also, Palantir Foundry for financial data analysis is another alternative. Integrate client financial data with predictive analytics. This can help with fraud detection, predictive risk profiling, and so on. So it can also be integrated with the CRM to maintain updated risk profiles and monitoring risk client activity, which can be really useful in settings like this. Also, Needs Acmatize. I mentioned this before, but I think it's useful to repeat this, especially for financial settings, because Needs Acmatize is an industry leader when it comes to financial crime, risk, compliance solution, especially for financial services. So this is absolutely something that may be relevant to explore if you are in the financial sector. This helps a lot with fraud detection, prevention, anti-money laundering, conduct surveillance, and much more. So this can help a lot with various things across AML and fraud detection in general. So here you can see something like that for financial market compliance and so on. Also, of course, generative AI can support this process, help out with some automated reporting, risk scenario forecasting, compliance documentation, etc. And of course, here it's possible to choose between one of these existing solutions and setting up something yourself based on like existing tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and so on. But when you're using this on a larger scale, especially with sensitive information, sensitive documents, and so on, then it's not as easy or not as a good idea to use this directly in that case, because then also you are risking to not be compliant to those types of regulations and risks that are involved in that. Also, some other AI tools that will be mentioned here. Here I specify based on the how advanced your how technologically advanced your financial firm is. So here I distinguish between the beginner level solutions, the intermediate level solutions, and the advanced level solutions. So here, if you are beginner level, here it might be good to start with kind of CompliSci or LogicGate. This is kind of user-friendly compliance monitoring, some basic risk management, document tracking, specifically for financial services. So here, CompliSci, LogicGate may be relevant to explore. Also, if you're growing a bit bigger on an intermediate level, like you need something a bit more advanced, like advanced compliance, risk management. If you're a growing firm especially, here it might be relevant to explore something like IBM Watson, Palantir Foundry, like I mentioned previously. I mentioned previously how these work, so I won't go too much more into that, but that's also something that is relevant for you to check out. Also, if you need something even greater, if you're growing even bigger, like you are a larger advisor firm, then it might be relevant to use kind of a more comprehensive AI platform in general that can kind of is more suitable for bigger multi-department, maybe international firms in general. Here it might be relevant to explore some bigger AI platforms like Azure Cognitive Services, Google Cloud AI, or something similar that is kind of more adaptable to complex multi-departmental projects, requiring high levels of regulatory alignments. So that's worth checking out if you are in that category. So before we round this off, overcoming AI implementation challenges is really important here, especially as up to 80% of AI projects generally fail. It's important to consider especially data privacy and security, especially important in Europe with GDPR, but of course there are often similar regulations in the US, in Britain, in other places that are important to assess on this point. Also, of course, how it works together with your existing systems, your existing softwares, how these can be kind of integrated in the proper way. Maybe a good idea to start with a tech audit, identify these data silos, and implement the AI solutions in phases for a more smooth transition. Also, of course, adapt to regulatory changes here. Like it may be necessary to regularly update these AI models based on new financial regulations and so on. And this is why it may be relevant to use some of the tools I've mentioned, because these continually adapt to changes in the financial regulations and so on. Also, of course, data privacy, security, we've talked a lot about this, but GDPR and so on, work with trusted advisors, ensure encryption and so on to secure your client information. So what are the next steps right now? So basically, to conclude, AI in risk assessment and compliance isn't just a tool, it's an advantage for you, generally as a financial advisor, helping you to automate complex tasks, improve accuracy, and confidently manage risks. So this can help a lot with enhancing efficiency and offer better client service. So if this video was helpful to you, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. In the next episode, in episode 9, we'll go into AI for client engagement in financial services, also for financial advisors. make sure to check that out. If you're interested in getting in touch with us about exploring how to get started with AI and automation in general, we're very focused on solid preparation, solid planning, and mapping out the solution that works best and is the most appropriate for your current situation, for your industry, for your company-specific situation, and for your technological readiness for these technologies. So you can also reach out to us on the link below to the workshop to book a meeting with us there if you're interested. Other than that, if you want access to this resource document I've talked through today, you can find the link to that as well in the description. Then you'll also see the links to all the tools, all the things I've talked about throughout this video. So yeah, just if it's relevant for you, of course. So, but yeah, be sure to like, subscribe for more videos like this, especially the next video on AI for client engagement in financial services. Other than that, I just wish you all a fantastic day, and I'm looking forward to see you all in the next video.